So this weekend's games in the Premier League have come and gone, and some were decent, some were really poor. Some results were a little bit strange, to be honest. The Manchester derby, for one, certainly didn't live up to any expectations. But let's have a look at all the results and the league tables after the weekend's games. This is the Toon Review Premier League show. Hi everyone, I'm Paul. Welcome to the Toon Review. This is the Premier League show. We'll have a look at all the results that have just passed in the Premier League and see where everybody is in the league table and see if my predictions were anywhere near close, which of course they weren't, but never mind. If you are new to the channel, if you've just stopped by, do hit the like button if you enjoy the video, share it around, and do hit the subscription button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Big football channel I'm aiming for on here. Newcastle United on a separate playlist. Other Premier League news, etc. on this one. So even if you're not a Newcastle fan, there's still plenty to enjoy on this channel. So let's dive straight into the game on Friday night. Now, if I do put my glasses on, it's because I'm blind as a bat. I haven't got my contact lenses in. It's just to read the scores off the screen. So I apologise for that in advance, but that's a sign of old age. I need the glasses. We start on Friday night and we've got Leeds United 1, West Ham United 2. An absolutely fantastic result for West Ham and Davy Moyes. You have to say, fully deserved. A lot of people have been saying over the weekend, has Bielsa been found out? Has he got a plan B, etc.? I think that's a little harsh at the minute. I did tweet out that maybe he doesn't have a plan B. I don't know. They've got another test coming on Wednesday against Newcastle United. That should be a decent game. But Leeds will be disappointed. They will be disappointed that they got nothing from that game. West Ham are just performing so well, and quietly just getting about their own business at the minute. And Moyes must be delighted. The fans must be delighted. You know, I've heard an interview over the weekend with a couple of West Ham United fans who, after that first game against Newcastle, thought it was the end of the world. But my God, they've turned it round and are performing fantastically well. So a 2-1 win for West Ham. I think I went for a 2-2 draw. So I was wrong again. But Leeds need to bounce back and bounce back quickly. They're in a bit of a rut at the minute and they've got to get out of that quite sharpish. We move on to Saturday's games and we had the Midlands derby, Wolves 0, Aston Villa 1. What a result for Villa. Some good football played in this game, actually. I quite enjoyed the match. Both keepers made some decent saves. You know, Wolves, that Rabona cross was just tremendous and it really deserved a goal and was unfortunately, a good save by the keeper. But Aston Villa won it in the end, and you have to give credit to Villa. They dug in, they dug deep, and I don't think a lot of people tipped Villa to win. I tipped a draw, I think, for this one as well. But credit Aston Villa, and they get a result. So well done. 1-0 at Molineux. We move on to the 3 o'clock kickoff, which was my team, Newcastle United, taking on West Brom. Newcastle United ahead after 20 seconds. It was an amazing start. The team that they did put out was a decent team, considering all the COVID problems that they've had. Certainly good enough to beat West Brom, but Newcastle's problem again came to fruition. They score after 20 seconds, and then all of a sudden they decide to sit back and let West Brom have the ball. And inevitably, just after half-time, West Brom equalise. But credit to Steve Bruce, he changed it for an attacking formation at last. And obviously Dwight Gale scored the winner. West Brom were disappointed they got nothing from the game because they did control most of the first half, to be fair to them. But it didn't happen. And they've got to be scratching their heads now and thinking, right, we need points from somewhere and quick. So 2-1 Newcastle. And we look at the next game, which was Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. Very, very disappointing Manchester derby. Not many chances in the game. Not many exciting challenges. Ferocious tackles going in. It just didn't seem like a Manchester derby, did it? And I think Roy Keane was right at the end of that game when he said about the players. They were just sort of giving each other hugs and there was no sort of aggression from anybody. I didn't see any aggression in the game. And when you get a derby game like a Manchester derby with two of those clubs, it was poor. And I think Man United will be the happier of the two teams, definitely, to get a point out of it. But I think City, again, I've said it before, those games against Fulham and Burnley, you can't really judge Manchester City on because they've got easily the better players to win those games. It's when they come up against the top teams again. And as they did against Man United, they struggled. And 0-0 isn't a great result for both teams, if we're fair, in their push to get back in the top 4. Man City lying, I think, 8th. We'll have a look a bit later, but struggling at the minute against the bigger teams. Then we look to Everton 1, Chelsea 0. Sigurdsson with a penalty. Chances at both ends in this game. It was a decent game. I have to give credit to the Everton fans in this one. I thought they were absolutely fantastic. 2,000 fans in that ground. They made a lot of noise. They made some noise at Goodison on Saturday night, and credit to them. It was nice to hear as well, rather than just the old audio crap from the television. Everton, they were on the back foot in spells of the game, but they defended very well, kept Chelsea at bay. There wasn't really any clear-cut opportunities that Chelsea could say that they deserved to get anything from the game. And Lampard, certainly at the end of it, was very, very disappointed. He said they weren't good enough, and credit to him for saying that. But Everton get another win. That'll give them confidence moving forward again to keep that highly position. So we move on to Sunday, and we've got Southampton 3, Sheffield United 0. I did predict, I think I went to 3-0 or a 3-1 for this one. Southampton just too good for Sheffield United. Chris Wilder's going to struggle. I think this season they don't seem to have the players that are going to keep them up. They've got 1 point all season. They're getting very much adrift of all the other teams, and things are beginning to become a worry at Sheffield United. If they can turn it round, brilliant. I think Chris Wilder's got a lot of hard work to do in January if he's to bring some players in, convince the board that he needs the players. They need to do something, don't they? Because they need to turn that around. It's very, very poor at the minute from Sheffield United. Southampton, on the other hand, just go from strength to strength. Scoring goals, playing great football, and looking like a top 6 team. They really are. I think the news this morning broke about Ralf Hasenhüttl might be interested in the Dortmund job in Germany. That'll be a massive blow to Southampton if they can't hold on to him. But I'm sure they'll do their very best because he is a tremendous manager. Really like that guy. And Southampton just move on. They've got Arsenal in midweek. I think they'll be looking forward to going to the Emirates the way Arsenal are playing. But well done, Southampton. 3-0 win at St Mary's. We've then got Crystal Palace 1, Tottenham 1. Now, I didn't see this game. But credit to Crystal Palace getting a point against the league leaders. Spurs will be disappointed they didn't come away with 3 points. No doubt about it. They'll have looked at that Palace game and thought, that could be a big 3 points for us. And it turns out with Liverpool only drawn, it could have been a big result for them if they'd got 3 points at Selhurst Park. But unfortunately it wasn't to happen. It ended up 1-1. Credit to Palace. After the defeat against Newcastle and struggles, they've come back well. They've come back well. So credit to Roy Hodgson and his men, and they got a point out of it. Next game we've got is Fulham 1, Liverpool 1. Now, Fulham did well in this game. It was awful weather, pouring with rain, but the fans back in the ground certainly I thought would have helped Fulham. They scored a cracking goal and did very well in the first half. Second half, as you'd expect, Liverpool came much more into the game, had a lot more possession, and again it came down to a penalty for their equaliser. It's hard, isn't it? Because it was a free kick, blasted at you. He didn't move his arm, it just hit him. And it's very harsh, but what are we to do these days? This is the way that the handball rule has been dealt. We've just got to put up with it really and get on with it. And it's a little unfair because I think had Liverpool not got that penalty, I think Fulham would have got the 3 points. They would have held out because they defended very well. The goalkeeper was outstanding. I thought Areola played really, really well for Fulham, and I think they were unlucky not to get the 3 points. I think for Liverpool it'd be a kick up the arse that they need. Just to every now and again a kick up the backside just to say, hey, we can't take this Premier League too easy against certain teams. We need to be on our game every 90 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back. But well played, Fulham. We've then got Leicester City 3, Brighton 0. Convincing as anything for Leicester. They're, very, very up and down, aren't they, Leicester City? You just don't know which Leicester's going to turn up. But having said that, they're getting more better results than they are poor results of late, and I think that's shown in the league table. They'll be very, very pleased to be back up there again. Can they sustain it throughout the season? It'd be interesting to see. It'll be very interesting to see what Brendan Rodgers does in January. Does he bring fresh players in, some more exciting attacking players? Does he shore up the defence? Because they have been a bit leaky this season in certain games. But they're doing well, and I think the Leicester fans will be delighted with the way things are going at the minute. Brighton, on the other hand, I think they're going down with Sheffield United. I have to be honest. I think when they beat Newcastle, I watched that game and I thought, wow, they're playing absolutely brilliant football. But since then, they've been really rotten. And then they go and win a game last week, and then back to defeats again. I just can't see them getting out of it. I can't. And I'm sorry, Brighton fans, but, I'd love you to prove me wrong. And obviously, the final game of yesterday was Arsenal 0, Burnley 1. And Arsenal's season just goes from bad to worse, doesn't it? They really are struggling this season. I don't know what the problem is. The players that they seem to put on the pitch are good enough to win football matches, but Arsenal certainly aren't the team that they were. Is it Arteta? Is it the players' attitudes? I mean, Granit Xhaka, that sending off was a disgrace. When his team's struggling, an experienced player like that doing what he did, you just can't be doing that on the football pitch. You can't. Yes, it was handbags and stuff like that, but he put his hand around the guy's neck. You can't do that on a football pitch. And Arteta will be disgusted with him for doing that, but something is quite clearly wrong at Arsenal and needs to be put right quickly. But it finished 1-0 to Burnley, and Burnley will be delighted with that. Doubled the points tally for the season and really starting to improve. I've seen improvement in Burnley recently. They're doing well. Now, league table-wise, if we look at the standings, we've got Tottenham are on top on goal difference. 24 goals scored, 10 conceded. Liverpool are second, and Leicester City third, with Southampton fourth and Chelsea fifth. Southampton fourth. Now they really need to hang on to Hussenhardl. They really do, because he's turned that club around, and you have to give the man praise. The football that Southampton play, the way they attack, they come together as a team. They're not world-class renowned football names on that pitch for Southampton, but they work as a team, and that's the big difference, and that's what we're seeing from them. Chelsea, obviously Lampard very disappointed seeing Chelsea go fifth in the table, but Leicester and Southampton are up there, and it makes a nice change for some of the smaller teams to be up there challenging again. At the bottom, Sheffield United only have 1 point, West Brom 19th, Fulham on 18th, with 8 points, and then we've got Burnley above them on 9 and Brighton on 10, and then only above them by 3 points is Arsenal. I mean, never in my wildest dreams would I thought I'd be saying that this season. But for me, relegation is going to be between Sheffield United, West Brom, Fulham and Burnley and Brighton. I think those 5 teams are the teams that are going to be slagging it out this season. Obviously, you do in the second half of the season, you get teams that go on a good run. You get teams that suddenly have terrible runs and are plummeting down the table. So, they'll be very aware of that, I'm sure. But those are the 5 that I think will be down there. But a great weekend of football again. So that covers the weekend's games just gone. Obviously, there's midweek games this week. So I'll be bringing out a preview video maybe later on today or tomorrow. A lot of videos to get going because of the midweek games. If you have enjoyed the video, do hit the like button. Share it around. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do hit the subscription button. Lots more videos coming out. We are building slowly, but we are building. So thank you very much for that. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching the video. Stay safe. Take care. Be strong. Thank you.